Hey guys, XJ9's here, and today's going to be the patch 12.4 notes. Pretty, I mean, I think it's going to be a pretty good patch just because they're fixing the support issue with top lane. Yeah, I'm also joined by Bully, Business, Associate, Caterpillar, Brendan, and Bunny. Yeah, enjoy that, I guess. So we're going to get right into this. Uh, so the new champion's coming out, doesn't say anything about her. Um, what do I think about her? I think overall, she seems really fun, very impactful. Seems pretty straightforward. Her ultimate's interesting because it's very slow. It's very strong, but it's very slow. I kind of wish that Rammus's taunt was like her R, where it taunts everything around. Like imagine Rammus instead of pressing taunt on one target, it taunts everyone. I I honestly kind of think Rammus needs that, just because his taunt is so short. So yeah, I think that'd be cool. But one thing that's interesting about her already though, is that her splash art is very like. Is this gonna be her icon in game or something, or like her, like because this is not how her splash art looks at all. So I wonder if it's gonna be like the only champion that has a different splash art from like in game, uh icon is I believe Kha'Zix. So I wonder if they actually made a icon for her, uh, just for League of Legends, like in game, just like Kha'Zix has a piece of artwork for his icons in game, like for like his splat. Like, cause if you look at Kha'Zix's splash, it does not use his splash as a way to show him in game, like to represent him. So I wonder if this is actually gonna be the icon or if this is just a filler. I'm not even sure, honestly. So we'll see about that. That's just something I'm actually interested about. So, we'll see. So Aatrox, Darkened Blade sweet spot damage was 150%. Now it's 160%. That's pretty big. But you have to realize is that you do have to hit the sweet spot. So if you're not hitting the sweet spot, you're not getting any damage bonus. Um, so her hit, not her, his damage bonus against champions and like yeah, even minion clearing is significantly higher. He might even be getting buffed slightly, maybe because maybe the item rework didn't benefit him that much. Although, it's hard to say because it's brand new items and people need to adjust to what are good builds. But another big thing about this is that when you're jungling, you can pretty much always hit your sweet spot on like camp. So 10% more damage, pretty good, right? So I might try to play some Aatrox jungle. That'll be interesting. So I mean that's that honestly. Overall, seemed pretty good. I kind of hope that if the state jungle becomes more viable, uh, hopefully they don't have to nerf lane or something. But who knows? Again, it is only sweet spot, so it shouldn't be too crazy. So we'll see. Mumu E base damage reduction increased. Physical damage reduction was 2 to 10, plus 3% bonus armor, plus 3% magic resist, bonus magic resist to 5 to 13, and the same magic resist and bonus armor. So yeah, this was needed because they kind of over. I'm not sure why they nerfed his E last patch, but they also nerfed his scaling armor. That was like a double whammy. I'm not sure why you would do that, but overall, this is pretty good considering he maxes his first anyway, and early game it's significantly better. So it helps early game jungling, which is nice for newer players, and yeah, I think this is better than the armor he lost. So yeah, I just don't know why they even nerfed the armor per level as well, because that didn't make sense considering they only nerfed it Amumu's E because of Zeri's interaction. So whatever. Ash arrow speed increased. Missile speed was 1600. Now it's 1500 plus 200 per second of travel time, up to 2100. So if you use it point blank, like in their face, it's actually a bit slower. So you actually can react faster to an Ash arrow used in lane as a you know short engage tool like that. But when you're doing long plays like shooting across the map or down middle, it'll actually reach the target faster. So overall, like this, it means there's more reaction time if she shoots it point blank. But if she's shooting it across the map, which is a risky play, it's actually A bit more beneficial because the higher elo you go, realistically people should react better. So it probably just never hit people honestly. Blood strength base helmet regen was 8.5, now 7.5. Um, yeah, he got buffed with his Q damage before with his rocket, and he's probably all in too much of it, too tanky. Health regen is very strong because it fights especially early last longer, so it's essentially like even health in general. Like, is this even you even consider it like flat health? And like, if I live for 5 seconds, that's how much HP I get more in a fight. So that's reasonable. Doctor Mundo base stats. AD growth was 4.2, now it's 3.5. Attack damage was 61, and what ends up happening is his attack damage was 61 to 132.4. Now it's 61 to 120.5. Our cooldown was 110 to 90 seconds, and now it's only 110 seconds. Or it's 110 seconds all ranks. Yeah, these are nerfs towards top lane because no one plays him jungle really. I wonder if the AD growth was because maybe people are maxing E, because I do want to try E max, see how that goes, and even in jungle, but um, I don't know. Maybe he's just doing too much damage to the tank. He's not really a tank though, because he can't really aggro. He's just kind of like a big health guy. Early game, the nerf isn't that big of a deal. It's just maybe he's scaling a bit too well, but that is quite a significant nerf. Um, it might not be as big as some people might think, just because Mundo has zero AD scaling, absolutely zero. So yeah, it's not like he's losing damage on other abilities. He's just losing auto attack damage. So is it really the biggest nerf in the world? Probably not. Um, I do wonder. I do want to try different runes on Mundo jungle. Like again, this is about top lane, but like top lane usually takes grass. But like one thing that has a decent win rate is also press to attack, which is interesting. So I don't know. But I honestly think this nerf, the AD nerf, isn't even the biggest deal. The biggest nerf is probably his ultimate, just because you really need to get that CDR earlier. Uh, that's a huge nerf. I mean, I'm not even sure what the cooldown was before. I think it was like similar to what his R cooldown is now. Maybe it's just too viable because they buffed his ultimate to be more viable against Grievous wounds. Um, so I mean, it shouldn't be the biggest deal. I think what was happening was like there was a fight he would back, and like he would have all his HP back. Then there'd be another fight, and he has I don't know, maybe it's just because he has it up too much. I think so. I don't know. I still think he's a strong champion. It's actually kind of crazy how many nerfs he's been getting. Only from top lane, but I still think he's strong. So I mean, whatever. I'm fine with that. So overall, again, I don't think the AD growth is that big of a deal. It's probably just a lane thing, and the R though is the biggest deal. Realistically though, level 16 doesn't happen that often, so like it really doesn't happen that often. So if anything, you can just consider it like your rank 2 is nerfed. You'll readily get level 16, like even in like solo queue games, even if you play top lane. So really, it's not the biggest nerf. It's a big nerf if you get like the late game stages though. Because I think Luna's win rate, I'm not looking, so I might be wrong, but I think it might be a bit high. Like it might be just too crazy or something. I don't know. Alawi attack speed was 0.571. Now it's 0.625. Um, that's pretty good just because, I mean, I don't know. No one really plays her, so I think they're really just trying to experiment with, like, what they want. Like, the thing is that Alawi's is not that too popular a champion, and, I mean, make her feel better is probably a good idea to make her people play her. W Harsh Lesson, bonus physical damage was 3 to 5% plus 2% per 100 AD of target's maximum HP. Now it's 3 to 5% plus 4% per 100 AD of the target's maximum HP. So this is total AD. It's not even a base AD. So interesting enough, um, again, Conquerors is insane on her. I really wonder if you should even go Trinity Force on her maybe. Just because again, Trinity Force does give AD. It's this was it? It's bonus AD. So is it bonus AD? Was it base AD? I forget. No, it's base AD. Yeah, it gives base AD. So it will actually apply to this, her W ratio. Because even a champion like Aurelia, like remember I was watching a pro game and this Aurelia mid built a Trinity Force, and I'm like, I wonder why. Is it because of that 100 HP? No, it's. I honestly feel like it was even like not even really thought about because Aurelia's ratios are all just her total AD. It's not bonus AD. Total AD champions benefit more from Trinity Force. So champions like Alawi and like Aurelia benefits a lot. What about Alawi? So if I look at Alawi, like what this, if this is our only ability that has total AD, it's probably not too good. Um, yeah, well, her tentacle slams, for instance, do 120% AD, so it works very well with Trinity Force. Um, and even her E is the damage transmission is 8% per 100 AD. So like, and her ultimate though is like when she slams though is uh bonus 80, but you don't use that for the big nuke damage. So I would even consider Alawi to be a very good Trinity Force user, especially with the attack speed buff. She can get more autos in. So I honestly think Trinity Force is going to be really good on her just because of these buffs. Um, I believe Harsh Lesson is also not doesn't go down cooldown with each rank, right? No, it doesn't. So you wouldn't max this. I mean, maybe you do in some scenarios, but like pretty sure it's do E and Q because that's pretty important. So, but overall, like I just to me this really screams Trinity Force is gonna be crazy on this champion, like really good. Like you would, man, she would attack really fast. Her autos, she would be super mobile. I really feel like again, like if her win rate doesn't go up substantially, I honestly would feel like it's because people are not building Trinity Force on her. Which is funny because I think even her tentacle slams heals her for missing HP. So Divine Thunder can even be counterintuitive because it's healing you, unless they both work at the same time. Again, I'm not sure, but there's just some thoughts about it. Bug fixes. Fix the bug where if Alawi died right after pulling an enemy spirit with E test of spirit, nearby tentacles would not attack the spirit. Um, that's a big buff actually. Um, I'm not sure if they are like if she pulls a spirit, does her tentacles always slam on the? Again, I'm not even sure because I didn't play that honestly. Uh, but I understand what she does, but I don't know like the specifics. But like if they do like automatically attack or they're supposed to attack, this can be a huge buff to like her all in, like at least maybe training a 1-for-1 or getting a big team fight. So I don't know. Overall, Alawi I think is probably really good right now. If you go training first as well, this plus 4% per 100 AD as well. Um, what this buff does a lot is when say you need to go for a dragon fight. The thing about Lowy is that the thing about her is that she really needs her tentacles, and you can't really control it too well because without they spawn randomly, you can't just like unleash them when you want like Heimerdinger. So I feel like she can fight better even without her tentacles now because of this W nerf. Like just E and W and like you just do good damage. And again, if you have a Trinity Force, you get stacks. I also believe, I believe the test of spirit. You'll get stacks of Trinity Force from autoing it. So I just really feel like she's gonna be a really good Trinity Force champion. So if they don't do that, and if things work how I think they work, there you go. Like I'd be surprised if people don't do that. Kalista base armor increased 21 armor. Now she has 24. Pretty substantial considering she is played in pro play. So people are gonna pick her up again in pro play. Like again, a small buff like that is crazy. That's like 1/3 of the ruin for armor. So like, whew, that's pretty crazy. Because it's just crazy. I always think of those small buffs like that's literally 1/3. I think even a bit above 1/3 of flat armor ruin. So she just even has more armor, or you can even go like the HP route or something. Like take the health rune now instead and get away with that. I don't know, but she is an early game champion. I will. She's interesting because she's very. I don't know. She's very strong throughout the game, honestly, because she's a really good all-in champion lane, and then she scales very well. So I don't know, pretty good. Lucian mana cost decreased on his Q. Mana cost was 50 to 90. Now it's 48 to 80. Um, the mana cost goes down the more you rank it up. So early game you won't notice that too much. So yeah, I guess they want him to play more aggressively. I honestly already think he's strong, but this patch they're trying to make other 80 carries be played instead of like Jinx and what's the other one? Zeri. That's all people are playing in pro play. Is Jinx, Zeri, and Aphelios. So they're just trying to buff other things slightly, not too much. Like the damage isn't going up with these 80 carries, which is nice. Um, Nami on hit base damage reverted. So there's reverting this where she just gets the 5 damage on each rank on her E back, which is a total of 15 damage. So what's the reasoning? Last patch we tied a small nerf to Nami's E when we adjusted her passive so that her power would remain at sea level. It turns out that she actually sank a bit as a result, so we're reeling that part of the change back in. Yeah, again, like especially early, again, does not Nami even max this ability? I'm actually curious. I want to look because I actually need to know this context to actually judge this correctly. And there's so many champions in this game. Okay, there's Nami. So skills and no, she sometimes maxes it. It's actually interesting. But yeah, Riot would be surprised on when like a fit because this is only 15 damage. When you nerf those early game damages, it's pretty crazy how much it does because a lot of people like the all in potential is crazy. Like get a Lucian on Nami, it's crazy. So maybe they were underestimating that, but like, or maybe the change to Nami was shit. I don't even know honestly, but apparently the damage is that big of a deal. There you go. People probably also weren't even utilizing the movement speed that much, so there you go. Nico, hitbox is now smaller. Q additional bloom base damage increased. W cooldown increased. So gameplay hitbox radius was 80, now 65. That's good. Um, what was that one writer? She lost some in her dump trunk. That's what some writers said. Like wow, good job. Uh, Q blooming burst, additional bloom damage was 40 to 120 plus 20% AP. Now it's 40 to 140 plus 20% AP. So again, this bloom hit additional bloom damage. It can help. It can hit up to additional 2 times. So at rank two, it does 10 more damage, and pretty much it is. Yeah. So rank two, 10 more damage. Rank three, 20 more damage. Then 30 more damage, and 40 more damage. So quite a bit more damage, especially flat damage. Uh, W shaped splitter. Cooldown was 20 to 16. Now it's 16 to 12. Pretty substantial. More scouting, more mobility. Can make riskier plays. Um, Curious about that. Quality of life changes. Nico's Ryo Shoma. When playing as Nico, your center HUD, i.e., the buff icons above your skills, will now always display your actual buffs, rather than the buffs of the ally you are disguised as if using passive inherent glamour. Enemies who click on you will still see the buffs of your ally you are disguised as in the target UI at the top of the screen. There's a lot of things with Nico where like I think if you build Banshee's Veil, like the Banshee's Veil will be on like the Jinx or something. So I don't know. There's a lot of things about that are issues with her W, unless it's intended to be like, oh, that's a skill of her. I don't know. What's Riot to say about us? Our curious chameleon has been sitting at the lower win rate for quite some time and could use a little love. We're trimming down her thick hitbox. Oh yeah, there's that Rioter to match those of similar characters and giving her more access to her tricks. An extra booster blossoms should help her wave clear so she can roam to other lanes when using her camouflage, as well as make her combos really pop blossom off. Yeah, I mean, I play a little bit of Nico jungle. I feel like she needs a bit more than jungle though because like her early clear is like okay, but like as the game goes on, she starts not clearing it fast enough, and she takes way too much damage, and then she just dies. Like she just clears too slow, and she uses too much mana. So this is a bigger lane buff than anything because your Q needs to kill the target to actually pop off again. So there's a lot of times where your second Q will be like one damage off doing the second, killing it to do a third burst. So it's more of a lane buff. I don't think jungle gets changed too much. It's just she doesn't clear that she does okay early. It's just later on in the game she just does no freaking damage. Noula Willump, health growth decreased, Q base damage and healing from champions decreased. Base stats, health growth was 82, now 76. So the health at level 18 was 1,934, now it's 1,832. So 102 less HP. Consume healing from champions was 60, the 172 plus 72% AP plus 8% bonus HP. Now it's 45 to 129 plus 54% AP plus 6% bonus health. So I guess he was just healing too much in general. Big AP nerf. Because I believe this also gets doubled or something if Nuna's low. Um, yeah, he's been really strong for a while. What exactly happened again? I'm trying to remember what happened. I don't know. Last patch he probably got strong just because his items didn't get nerfed and bruisers got nerfed. So that's the thing about that whole bruiser change. It's like these bruisers became less of tanks, so now tanks are shining more. You know. So yeah, I think he was overdue for a nerf because I always thought he was strong as hell. So that's good. Kiana, passive 80s, scaling decreased. Additional physical damage was 1583, 1 through 18, plus 55 bonus 80. Everything the same besides the bonus 80 ratio. It's 10% less bonus 80, so now it's only 45% bonus 80. The Empress continues to be a little too oppressive in higher levels of play. Yeah, so the nerf nerfs wave clear and stall wall potential, and this also nerfs her jungling. So, um, overall, I mean that's pretty good because yeah, I don't like Kiana because I think Kiana's like the new Fizz or something. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of her honestly. Rumble base armor was 31, now it's 36. 5 armor, that's crazy. That's more than half of a rune. Rumble is weak, especially in the top lane. We're fortifying him to be more in line with other melee laners so he can get scrapper with his enemies. Um, Interesting. Is he weak? I don't know. Oh no, don't jungle Rumble again. Health growth for set, health growth was 93, now it's 100. Health growth at 18 was 2,000. So his total HP before was 2,181, now it's 2,300. The Rift's number 2 Mama's Boy, just behind the new patch notes author. Wow, what? What? Okay, well, apparently the new author of this is a Mama's Boy. Has dropped in effectiveness and win rate a bit more than other fighters last patch, so we're giving him a small buff. Uh, so this essentially, honestly, kind of reverts the fighter changes. Because it's actually interesting because set Set's W damage is based on total HP and AD, so maybe it was like a net neutral uh change, but it slightly nerfed them. So that's kind of funny. So overall, I mean he scales better. That's pretty good. So whatever. I'm a fan. Um, but I mean, people also don't even play him support right now, which is kind of sad. So I don't think this would impact support as much as it would like soul lanes. They're trying to encourage them being playing soul lanes or jungle. I think. Um, can you re-give him plus damage? Again, Riot was going to remove the damage cap on his Q or like make it like 800 instead because the damage cap on his Q is only 400. They were going to make it 800, and then they were also going to buff his W damage to be like plus 200 or 300% damage, which would have been really nice on monsters because he doesn't get a lot of grit from monsters. So yeah, that'd be really nice. Maybe. Vigar. Base armor decrease, armor growth increase, E cooldown increased early. So base armor was 23, now it's 21. 3 less armor. Armor growth was 3.75, now it's 4.0. So it takes him 9 levels to get, or 8 or 9 levels, I'm lazy right now, to get that base armor back. So this nerfed his early game. Armor at level 18 was 86.75, now it's 89. So he scales a little bit better, but they're trying to trick his early game because his early game is a bit, he's supposed to be weak in the early game, but apparently he's not being punished enough. Cooldown of Event Horizon was 18 to 12. Now it's 20 to 12. People max the second though. So bug fixes. fixed Q, Baleful Strikes tooltip to Crocky State that last hitting an enemy champion's grants 1 stack of Paranormal Evil, not 3. That's interesting. Um, I'm gonna be honest. So Vigar is standing head and shoulders above the competition. His shadow is especially tall in bot lane, so we're adjusting his scaling in a way that'll impact him more in bot lane than mid. Um, I don't know. Hopefully he does something, but like, man, uh, Vigar is like one of those lucky champions where like he's been strong for so long. Like I don't even like years ago people were like, oh, this is that player's pocket pick. Like, bro, Vigar's broken as hell. Cause like Vigar's one of those champions where like he's old as hell, but he has some of the most broken mechanics of a champion. Like it's kind of like Olaf in a way back in the day where like Olaf had his ultimate and like no one really thought anything of it. Vigar's kind of the same thing where like he has infinite scaling, tons of AP though. Like he's a safer Nasus. He doesn't actually have to get melee range to get stacks. He has CC, very low cooldowns late game, like freaking 1,000 damage nukes W's with 2 second cooldown. Like his shutdown potential on one target is also extremely high. Point click ultimate. Like this champion has always just been crazy. I still think he's really strong because that buff he got before is insane. I don't know. Uh, how come Fiddlesticks couldn't be broken like this? Where's Fiddlesticks ginormous 2.5 second stun or fear? Like yeah, well, I don't know. I still think he's strong as hell, but whatever. I mean, apparently they're fine with middle, and there's a problem with bottom or something. I don't know. Zaya E damage amp based on crit chance increase. Blade Caller E critical strike chance damage multiplier was zero point 0.5, now it's 0.75% more damage per 1% critical strike chance. This is probably because people are building lethality on her instead of crit, and they're trying to encourage more crit builds. Yeah, so while we're happy with Zaya has lethality options, they've been overshadowing her crit builds. The Rebels gameplay is healthier and better suited to her identity when she builds at least some attack speed. So we're increasing the crit, scaling our E Blade Caller to bring her fast and furious feathers. It's interesting they didn't remove her, like, nerf her lethality build. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Maybe this is better than lethality now. Who knows? Ginormous area changes as well. Um, I'm not gonna read this. I'll just read this as it goes. So, whew. Uncharged basic attack. Damage was 15 to 40, levels 1 through 18 plus 4% AP. Now it's 10 to 25, levels 1 through 18 plus 3% AP. The AP ratio is honestly irrelevant. Early game, the nerf's quite significant. I would even say it's significant to getting towers as well because she actually kills towers very fast because if you just Q auto every single time, you do way more damage than like waiting for a fully charged Q on the turret. So I think this nerfs it. I'm not quite sure. I believe it does. The damage increase to lower target HP units was 300%. Now it's 5% against minions, enemies below 35% HP. Um, that's a lot of freaking damage. That is a lot of damage to low target HPs. Cause damn, that's so much burst. Cause like, she doesn't even need a fully charged Q. It's just if you're low, she just clicks on you and kills you. Um, so yeah, what does this nerf exactly do? I mean, it just nerfs her. Like maybe she's just doing too much in all ins. Like she goes in, Qs you, Qs no autos you, Qs you, and the spams autos on you for extra damage. Maybe it's doing too much. I don't know. Charge basic attack slow was 20 to 40%. Now it's 14 to 50%. Based on Q rank, slow duration was 1.5. Now it's 1 second. So yeah, this is probably one of the bigger nerfs. This champion has so much utility for an AD carry that helping ganks because she can slow the target for so long. This is a ginormous nerf in general. Like this is like a jungler's best friend, and it's like self peel. I also like the decision to make the slow whatchamacallit. Well, because again, like, the slow has always been based on Q rank, but it is better the more you rank it up, and if you do max it, 50% against 40%. I mean, it's still a big nerf, but yeah, some people don't even max Q. I believe. Um, I think they get like you or maybe it's a situation, but there are alternative skill leveling. So I mean, again, interesting. This is a big. So far, both these nerfs seem pretty big, especially the charge basic attack. Burst fire damage, it was 10 to 30 plus 100%, 110% AD. Now it's 9 to 25 plus 100%, 110% AD. Um, Update burst tier burst fire's critical strike now also multiply the base damage in addition to its AD ratio. Excess attack speed to AD conversion was 50%, now 60%. So yeah, they're really trying to encourage you to build more attack speed. If you build more attack speed, you'll get more AD. And currently, people don't build attack speed; they just build Black Cleaver, Titanic, and stuff, which is not attack speed. And they nerfed the base damage on the Q, so now, yeah, if you build crit, you'll actually make up that damage because critting the 25 is quite impactful actually. Ultra. So I mean, I'll just finish reading this. Jesus, so much. Jesus, what a mess. Ultra shock laser, slowest 50 to 70%, now 30 to 70%. Yeah, that slow rank one was crazy. Cooldown was 10 seconds all ranks, now it's 13 to 9. Um, yeah, level 1 was pretty crazy. I think if you really want that strong with slow, you should definitely have to max it. It was way too good before. Nice that it's a lower cooldown though if you do plan on maxing it. Spark Charge cooldown was 23 to 17, now it's 23 to 19. So it's a bit too good maxing it. Some people also max this first or second. Cooldown reduction was 1.5 seconds. Now it's 1 second per champion hit with charged basic attacks or abilities. I'm assuming that it's 1.5 seconds per hit with a base attack or ability as well. So yeah, overall this nerfs her ability a lot, which is probably the biggest problem about her. Cause like, yeah, she Q you, auto you, Q you, auto you, and like, yeah, she can get back. She could get back her E really fast as well. So, um, especially with Black Cleaver, if you get Black Cleaver, it reduces the cooldown a lot. So pretty good. Again, I'm a fan of that because she's way too mobile. Lightning Crash bonus attack speed was 30 to 40%. Now it's 30% all ranks. Um, yeah, that ability is so strong that it doesn't even need. It just has a lower cooldown damage. Bug fixes Q burst fire crits and will no longer trigger Novori quick blades passive to reduce the cooldown of Q burst fire. I'm surprised that's a bug because that's a build I also thought was interesting because like, oh, you get potentially more DPS. So that's kind of sad that got nerfed. Was it a bug? We can call that a feature. Tear of the Goddess now correctly treats Q burst fire as a basic attack and will no longer grant stacks when it is cast. Zeri's right click base attack will continue to be treated as a spell and trigger tier stacks. I don't think anyone built that, so I don't think it really matters. So, I mean, she can still stack it fine, but no one builds that. I don't think. No, whatever. Um, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's good, but I don't think it's good. Overall, nerf slow. So, um, Zeri Spark still has a bit more shock than she needs, so we're nerfing her overall power in a way that should hit her bruiser builds and harder than crit builds. Yeah, so hopefully it trims her down a bit, because she's still her win rate, so I think at the top AD carry win rate. So, yeah, overall the utility is nice, because, like, it's a dual lane, so you realize, like, these abilities were working with another champion very well, and, like, the jungler and stuff, and self-peeling. Um, Do I think it's enough? It's pretty close. It'll either be enough or it'll be very close, or maybe it'll be like enough that it's like situational what build you do, which I'm again not sure what the goal is. So overall seems good. There you go. All ally item pings now available. You can now display your allies' item cooldowns and charges in game by pinging an item's icon on the tab scoreboard. Item icons in the scoreboard will now also have timer visual effects to visually indicate their status. Oh, this is really good. So now you know if someone has Zanyas, if someone has Chen Ting. That's good. Yeah, this was a big issue because some people get confused like, oh, why didn't you go and why didn't you use Zanyas? Because it wasn't up, bro. Or like people will make a play and you can't ping it. That's good. Um, Rejuvenation being, what the hell happened? Oh my god, this was not even the PB. Buying 3 rejuvenation beads has recently cropped up as a powerful item start strategy. However, it offers weak early game champions a bit too much sustain without asking for enough trade-offs mid-game. We're adjusting it to require some more commitment, and we'll look up at changing Doran's item if players struggle to survive, especially in tough solo lanes. That's interesting. That's interesting that this was strong on the Dorans. I don't play lanes, so I don't really look at too much at laning starting items. Total cost was 150 gold, now it's 300 gold. Base health regen was 50%, now it's 100%. Sell back ratio was 70%. Sells for 105 gold. Now it's 40%. Sells for 120 gold. Yeah, that's a wow. I, I'm gonna be honest. I never really thought about like, do items all have the same sell back ratio, or are they all different? I never actually really thought about that. Maybe they all have 70%. Like, let's look at Trinity Force. Trinity Force sell back. I think they all do. Do they? They might. It might be very close because they look like about like a 70%. Um, I don't know. That's a very interesting way to nerf something as well. Sell back. Who sells an item? Like, that's crazy. Um, I know that I think controllers have a 40% ratio as well. I never even thought about that, so that's interesting. Uh, Crystalline Bracer was 650 gold, now it's 800. Base health regen was 50, now it's 100%. Knight's Vow was 700 gold, now it's 400 gold. Total cost and change. Base health regen was 150%, now it's 200%. Warmog's armor combined cost 650 gold, now it's 500 gold. Total cost unchanged. Interesting. It's also interesting because it also buffs like people even building Warmogs, and now it's like, oh, I can buy this, or like, it's interesting. Yeah, this is actually interesting because now it's like this adds more value early. So it's like actually like a buff the Warmogs and like maybe Knight's Vow, but the buff the Warmogs actually, which is very interesting actually. That's very interesting. Um, yeah. So if you buy this item to start, you can't actually have 150% base health regen now. So what do you do with 150 gold? I don't know. Buy a control ward or buy maybe a rejuvenation potion. Maybe people will still do a strategy as well. Um, but I think they also thought about that because or did they? No, I don't know if they thought about that because they're just adjusting the prices accordingly. Um, I don't know. Very interesting. I just didn't not expect to see this. So maybe people will still buy a rejuve bead and a health potion, a refilled potion. Like that might still be a thing, honestly. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I wouldn't surprise me if that is a thing. Support gold income items, Spell Thief's Edge, Relic Shield, Seal Shoulder Guards, and Spectral Sigil. Recently, there's been an increase of Enchantress support champions and soul lanes who use support gold income items to gain money passively while roaming the map rather than playing their lane. Funny enough, I've seen on I think Surrender 20, someone was doing it on like Quinn because Quinn actually roams very well after level 6. So shout out to that guy who does Quinn top roaming. While we do value creativity in League of Legends, we believe this specific strategy goes over the line for what a healthy amount of early game roaming looks like. It also denies their lane opponents the opportunity to use early game strengths to build leads during lane phase, which is a core part of each game. So it denies their lane opponents the opportunity to use early game strengths. There's probably is there about champion strengths or like, oh, I got tower plating, or like I push this out. I'm not sure. Oh, I push this out now. I can roam, but like it doesn't matter, and then the enemy jungle just funnels the gold. I don't like funnel strategy. I really hate them. I'm a big fan of this nerf because I hate funnel strategy because it just ruins jungle so much because then jungle suffers. They should just make it so jungle doesn't even get gold from minions. Period. Like there you go, guys. Make it so they get half experience too. Get rid of the cheeky Raptor leeching mid lane XP because they got pushed in. These issues definitely call for a more robust solution, and we're in the process of developing one. In the meantime, we're adjusting a few systems that minimize the effects on other parts of the game. Wait, I want to talk like a writer. Watch this. In particular, both objective and CS bounties don't yet account for the unconventional income strategies. which can withdraw into unhealthy game states. We're also increasing the amount of farming penalty on these support gold income items during the first 5 minutes of the game, so that laners can't just farm as usual, then grab and go once the timer kicks in. See, I did good. I can do good acting, right? um. So wait, I can't like reread because I was screwing around too much. So we're increasing the minion farming penalty on these support gold income items during the first 5 minutes of the game, so that laners can't just farm as usual. Um. We're also increasing the minion farming penalty on these support gold items during the first 5 minutes of the game, so that laners can't just farm as usual. What timer? I'm not sure what timer to talk about. I talk about CS bounties, or talking about like the support item ticking with something. I don't know. Gold value bounties, aka CS bounties, are now based on the number of support gold income items on each team, rather than assuming each team has one support gold income item. Objective bounties. Enemy gold leads are now significantly less likely to lead to objective bounties activating if there are 2 or more support gold items on your team. Tribute, Spoils of War passive, minion farming penalty. Receive diminishing gold from excessive. Then they slash out 4 minions per minute. 2 minions per minute until 5 minutes. 4 minions per minute thereafter minion kills. This diminished gold penalty is now also more severe during the first 5 minutes of the game. All else unchanged. So receive diminished gold from excessive 4 minions per minute. So it's 2 minions, so you get. So that's very low minions for 5 minutes. The diminished gold penalty is now more severe during the first. Oh wow! So they nerfed the part where, because you used to be able to CS decently with each mini wave, like just prioritize like the melees and the canyon minions. Don't CS the caster minions, I believe. And yeah, now you can only kill half as much as you used to, and on top of that, even if you CS the minions, you're gonna get like probably like 1 gold instead of like 5 or 3 or whatever. So that's pretty crazy. Again, like I even think that's a good solution. It doesn't look sloppy, honestly. I wonder what they're gonna come up with, or if they're gonna like come up with it in general. Because I mean, who knows? They're not like another gaming company where they're like, we're gonna look into it eventually, and they never do. But I'm interested. I hope they don't. I hope they do something just because they're teasing it. Because I don't think Riot's a company that teases something then doesn't do it. Because I think they used to do that, but then they stopped very early on in their company's life. Objective bounty linger period was 15 seconds. Now it's 5 seconds after objective bounties fall off. Yep. So unrelated to the gold income items below, we're also shortening the deactivation timers for objective bounties to address some extreme swing cases. When an objective bounty period ends, the team should still be behind, but the lingering duration allowed some cases where the losing team could catapult ahead after claiming multiple bounties in a row. Yeah, so this is good. I'm not sure if people actually plan that out, but yeah, sometimes we just ace a team. Someone does dragon, someone gets and 2 people just push the middle. Dragon's about to die, middle just dies, and they get like 2 turrets and a dragon, 3 objective bounties. So you might still see double objective bounties, but you probably won't see 3 anymore. And some ARAM changes, I don't really care, so whatever. Clash is happening. Behavioral systems updated. Intentional feeding detection. A new system for detecting intentional feeding was successfully launched last month. Further enhancements have been made to the detection model's accuracy to improve the player's experience. That's interesting. Wonder how that is. So that's the beginning of January, or even well, it's not the beginning of January. It can be even late January. So somewhere in January this happens. So I'm curious about how that is going. I have been noticing. I've been getting more reports though, or feedback reports, but it wasn't for intentionally feeding. So whatever. I rarely see an intentional feeder. I usually see intentional AFKers though, because like that's the thing. Like, is intentional feeding detection also intentional AFKing, intentional griefing, intentional soft feeding? Like as in, like not actually playing the game. Personalization, updated summoner icons. You can now sort and search your summoner icons with selecting one to display. That's good. Summon icons now display information tooltips when you hover over them. Okay, that's good. So probably when you got them. I like that you can also. So I'm guessing you can favorite them. Um, so that's nice. So yeah, actually, I like a lot of these icons. Like I like the little cafe cuties. I like the mouse and the mouse. Yeah, I'd like to sort those. I actually like that a lot. Um, Getting rid of that MMO, right? Updated summoner level icon borders. You can now select any of your summoner level icon borders you've earned so far, rather than just your highest level one. Your selection will not appear in game loading screens just yet. Okay, yeah. So this is kind of like a quick solution. They can't show it for other players, but it's nice to customize Lucian for yourself. Um, so yeah, I mean, again, they're teasing that they will do it, so that's nice. I like customization. I like sorting. I think that's a great change. Um, Bug fixes in Quiet Life. Fix the bug where champions would be able to cast some summer spells while traveling through Hexa gates, including Smite. Wow, that's funny. That easy dragon seals. Fix the bug where Ari's passive Essence Thief could obtain essence from a champion clones, as this is like with Senna. Fix the bug where Janna would incorrectly gain E, either Storm's passive heal and shield power boost upon slowing or knocking up an enemy champions, even when she hadn't learned the skill yet. That's funny. Yeah, that's a nerf. A slight nerf, probably, though. Ooh, excuse me, sorry. I couldn't mute my mic because I have my animals help me. Uh, Fix the bug where Senna's R Dawning Shadow would change direction if you cast it while your cursor was hovering over Senna's champion icon in the central HUD. Your cursor, what's that? A champion icon in your central HUD. Oh, you talk about like yeah, like where the stats are. That's weird. I wonder how that looked. I never saw that. Fix a bug where you could sometimes still resummon Death's Dance, ignore pain, store damage, even after triggering Deathify with a champion takedown. So, that's nice. That's a good buff. I wonder how that's gonna go. People are building like crazy, and they probably don't even notice. Fix the bug where Yorick's main in the mist would get stuck inside structures when walking near them. The main will now be ghosted and move through structures and units in true ghost-like fashion. That's actually a huge buff to Yorick, because when it's chasing you down or going all in, I think it could get creep blocked. So that's a huge buff in general to Yorick, actually. So that's really interesting. Whew. Kai'Sa's ability to adapt and evolution trackers for a passive second skin's living weapon has been fixed and will correctly account for bonus attack damage and attack speed, so this is a tooltip. Fix the bug where if Zed casted his W Living Shadow and recasted it while his Q Razor Shuriken was in flight, both shurikens would launch from Zed's new position as opposed to one shuriken from each location. Oh my god, I think I saw some people using this to their advantage. That's interesting. Oh my god. That might be a giant Zed nerf because I'm not even joking. I was watching someone played Zed jungle, right? And they killed this Lulu, and I swear that he W'd and like E'd and stuff. Like I'm not sure if he did like WQE or if you can do that or not, but like I swear I didn't look back, so I might be wrong, but like I swear that like the one Q that he shot wasn't supposed to hit Lulu, but both of them are being like launched from where the other. I don't know, but maybe not. But like I swear I've seen this sometimes, but I never really thought anything of it. I'm like whatever, it hit. It feels good. That can be a giant nerf. Whew. I wonder if visually it was bugged, but like it maybe the shuriken was invisible or something. Like who knows? That's crazy. What? Like, cause it's in flight. Like that actually might be a ginormous dead nerf. Cause like I'm not even joking. I'm like, I mean, I'm surprised both shurikens hit Lulu. Is that might need a buff. Maybe that's why people do WQE and then go in. You know, like they're bug. Everyone's bug abusers and they don't even know it. Fix a bug where gameplay. That's been in the game forever. Fix the bug where gameplay would receive a Chair of the God stack upon casting E Powder Keg. Fix the bug. Well, that's a big nerf if they do build tier. Fix a bug where if Tompkins applied 3 passive of an acquired taste stacks on an enemy champion, he would sometimes still be able to cast R Devour them after the stacks expired if you use certain item actives. That's a weird bug. Zo's W Spell Thief ability icon will display the correct damage value for stolen smites. Yeah, it's probably bold. Yeah, it was probably the old. I'm not sure if it was like 1,000 or 450 or something. That's interesting. Fix the visual bug where Aphelios casting bar. I'm not even sure how that works. Like, is it 450? Is it 1,000? Is it 900? Does it scale? I don't know. Fix the visual bug where Aphelios casting bar would not animate properly when upon activating W phase. Fix the bug where players would receive an incorrect notification if they try to change lobbies while in queue. Interesting. The sound effects that play when creating a game lobby has been restored. Interesting. Psyops Fikes W Ghost Water Dive sound effects that plays for enemies with low health below his ultimate execution threshold has been adjusted for gameplay clarity. I wonder if it's maybe lower or higher. It's probably lower. I don't know. I think people said that skin's pay to lose. No, it wasn't. It's probably actually pay to win actually. Projects. So it's good now. Product Jinx's critical strike hit sound effects has been restored. That's good. The debuff visual effects on enemies hit by Ari's E charm has been fully restored. Teleport and Unleash teleport no tooltips have been fixed and will display accurate cooldown timers. That's good because yeah, that was causing confusion in one of my games. I made a play because I thought my teleport had TP and they were bad and yeah, they didn't have TP because when I pinged it, it said 160 seconds even though it said it was up. The information displayed in the Dragon Soul buffs scoreboard tooltip has been corrected. Good. I'm not sure if it's saying like old buffs or something. Watchful and Vigilant Ward Stones tooltips have been fixed to display the correct number of wards currently placed. That's good. Smite's tooltips and champ select and collections have been restored. I wonder what the hell I said before. Yeah, some new champions. Admiral Glass looks like a cool skin in general. She looks like a really cool champion. She's one of those champions that releases where it's like, man, I wish I played that role because like support gets so much cool shit. It actually pisses me off. Like if you're a support main, man, you can play anything you want. You can play Set. You can play Brand, you can play Xerath, you can play Vel'Koz. You get to play this new cool champion too. Like I'm pissed, dude. Why can't I get a cool jungler like this? You know, hands in her pockets. Why can't I get a cool jungler? Instead I get like 44% win rate Lilia that gets reworked despite saying we want her to be high skill. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. So yeah, some chromas. Pretty cool. How's this even look? That's her base. Pretty cool. I like this one a lot. I like the bottom right. I like the bottom right one a lot. I think the bottom right one's really cool. Like, this one's kind of girdly. This one's kind of interesting as well. Which ones do I like too? I mean, I don't know if I like the purple ones. Like, white one's okay, but like I like this one. This is probably my favorite chroma right here. Base is pretty cool too though, but I like that chroma a lot. That's really it. I mean, that's Shockblade Casting. Golden Tiger. What? Oh, that's the. Oh yeah. So that what fire? This is already. Why is it even showing this? You can already get this chroma in the store. So what the heck is this for? You can already get this chroma. So I'm not sure why they're showing the chroma. Like I can literally already get this chroma if I go to the store right now. Like I already got the chroma. It's right there. Golden. Like why does it act like it's new? Maybe it's just advertising it, I guess. But like I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm excited for that new champion. She's really cool. I'm really excited to see how she plays out. Like, I don't know why people get pissed off about. Like, to me, when I see her, I'm like, man, that champion looks cool. I'm really interested to see how her aura plays out. I'm interested to see how I can play around her. I wish I could play her. I wish I played support right now. I always liked support. Even when I played Dota 2, I actually really liked support. But my girlfriend Allie was like, I don't want you to play support. I want you to carry. Like, I don't know. I always like helping my teams because like I even play jungle like that. I always try to be non-selfish, but people suck, which is sad. But support has better tools and like can afford to roam. In general, can't afford to roam and not get anything out of it. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed my animals, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye. Bye. Yeah, I'm Brandon. Yeah.